Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I just wanted to start quickly by showing you this cover. I made it in the recent Trashcraft Tuesday video, and so I just wanted to show you how it turned out. I'm really happy with it. I think it's fabulous, and it's got a really neat texture, almost sort of leathery quality. I haven't done the inside yet, but it's all beautifully stuck down. It folds really nicely and sort of got a little bit of stretch in the bends, which may be caused by the medium, which just means that there's no cracking at all. I did also want to let you know that when you first put it on, it feels tacky, and it remains tacky for a little while until it's completely dry, and then it loses its tackiness, because I was a little bit concerned that it was so tacky, particularly in places where the medium was a bit thicker. But once it's completely dry, it loses that tackiness, so it's all good. And my plan for the middle is to use some of this music paper, which is the same music paper that I've used in places in the collage on the front. And I don't really want to do it lengthways, and it's actually not quite long enough anyway. So I'm going to do it in two segments. I'm going to do front and back and overlap it in the spine. And I'm thinking I'll probably do a hidden spine for this journal when I put it together, so that the join will be covered over. So that's my plan. I don't know whether I'll do that on camera or not, but that's not today's project. So pop it aside. Today I'm going to get back to working in the Playful Days Journal. Just clearing off some stuff off my desk. So I did show this briefly in one of the videos, might have been the Trashcraft Tuesday one, where I added beads onto this little lace heart and sewed it to the bit of selvage, satin selvage. And it's really fun. You can play with the beads a little bit, sort of push them backwards and forwards. And just a really nice topper there for that Playful Days Journal. So that's that. And my thought for today, or to start off with, we'll see how far we get, is this here that I made for the Deal It Up challenge on Monday, Monday New Zealand time. I made it a pocket on this side. I was thinking this side, but then I ended up putting it on this side of the page, so the pocket opening is here. And I'm going to start by doing a journal card, and I've pulled this picture out of the same book that I used, if you can see that, with the cellophane, the window envelope cellophane. Same book I pulled this image from, and I thought that ties in rather nicely with the colouring of her, the princess in the window. So, and that's Mary Had a Little Lamb it came from. So I'm going to make that into my journal card. So I've cut it so that I know it fits, and I can add a little bit of room around it. So now I just need to back it, really. So I'm just looking. I didn't grab anything out to use. I've just got a pile of leftover papers from doing various bits for this journal, but I've got this leaf pattern paper. I'm thinking maybe that would make a nice frame for it. I think we'll go with that. So I'm just going to grab my craft knife and trim it down, because that's the easiest thing for me to do. So where do I want it? Don't want it too wide, otherwise it's going to stick too far out of my pocket. So if I go just the other side of that line, actually what I'm going to do is move it over slightly so that I'm cutting on a line, which is a bit more helpful generally to getting things straight. And I'm avoiding the number 24 because it's very deeply cut on line 24. So I just moved it over to avoid cutting on that line, same line. Right, So how's everyone today? Hope you're having a good day. It's supposed to be a warm day here, and I was warm first thing, but I've only, just before I came to do this video, went and put my sweatshirt on because I was feeling a little cool. There is an easterly breeze coming in through the front windows, and the easterly is a cooler wind here, comes off the ocean. We're about 5 k's, I think 5 kilometers from the beach, so when the easterly's blowing it's a bit cool, and I think I'm just feeling that coolness come through the front windows. But it's nice to have some air in the house, and like I said, it's supposed to be a warm day, so by the time the sun comes around to the room I'm in, it's probably going to be stinking hot, and I'll be either turning the fan on or heading down the other end of the house where it's a bit cooler. Right, so I'm just going to check that size, make sure I didn't do it too big. No, that's good. It comes right to the edge of that page, and I'm happy with that. I don't think that's a problem, so I'm going to stick that down with my tacky glue. I will give it some ink around the image because my cutting wasn't particularly great, and there's some white edging there. This will take care of that and fits with what I've been doing for this journal with inking. And then I'm going to ink around this bit as well, and this will be my writing space as well for the journal card. I would really love to put a like a postcard thing on the back, but I haven't got a postcard stamp. I need to get myself one. It would be very, very useful, I think. Right, and I'm not worried about the leaves sort of going across rather than up and down. I think it still works quite well. There's a cat playing the fiddle on the back of this, which I was kind of tempted to go with as well, but I just like how this image was laid out, and that it matched the princess with just the limited colour palette. My glue got very warm last night, and when I was using it, it volcanoed everywhere, so I think it's got an extra glue plug in there today. So we'll stick this down and then look at whether we want to add anything else to embellish it, and I'm thinking I will, just so it's not you know, not just sticking an image on a bit of paper, which is perfectly fine, like that's not a problem. But you know, we can decorate it up a bit, why not? So most of those leaves are covered anyway, there's just little bits poking out. There we go. Because we have got a label on this pocket here from Artsology, so let's pull out the labels and see if I can find something that I might like. Don't need to go the same shape, we could go a different shape. It's a great set, this one, although I tend to forget about it of late. This could be tricky, is actually finding a place to put it that's not covering over, so I think they're going to be too big. Perhaps these ones. These are all Artsology, these ones I'm pulling out at the moment. No, too big. Not feeling it. These, some smaller ones here. Just pull a bunch out. No. Oops, got 2 there. Kind of feeling like they're still just a little on the big side. Possibilities, those ones. Just put the rest of these back because I think they're not really doing it for me. Oops. Oh, actually they came out of that pocket, didn't they? I was looking at those ones thinking, why aren't these ones with these ones? Well, they were. Silly Billy. Right, 9 of Crohn's labels. Maybe these might be a better fit. Here's a greeny one here. Green, and funny, it looks green when it's not on, you know, it's a green grey, but put it on here and it just looks grey. Actually, I like that. So I'll pop that there. So I'll pop these ones away, just so they're not running around my desk and end up getting thrown away because they're damaged. So go with that one. And do I want anything else on here? Do I want a bit of book page under this? We can take a look and see what it looks like. I kind of like the cleanness of that, but we won't know until we have a look. Maybe even just a snippet. Which way up does it go? That way. Just give it a bit of a rougher edge. And I'm thinking too, because I had to cut her foot off, and this helps kind of disguise that fact. Yep, no, I like it without the music. I'm just going to stick it down as is. Sorry, clearing my throat. One day that might disappear. Right, really like that there. Do we want something up the top here? Could go a butterfly maybe. What butterflies do I have? Got some stamped ones, but I suspect my printed out ones might be a bit big. Let's have a wee look, see what we've got. Might be something else here that inspires, or not. Just various printables here. It's these butterflies that I was thinking, but they're way too big, so no to those. Don't feel like a mushroom. I've got some Artsology flowers here. Do we want a flower? Again, I think they're going to mostly end up being too big, and kind of don't really fit with the image anyway. Don't think yeah, that would be a no. And we've already got a word with the price label here. So for the time being, I'm going to leave it like that. I can always come back and add something if I'm thinking that space is bothering me. But otherwise I think it looks fine, and it's just got this little bit down here. So there we go. Oh, I better ink it on the back. Brush off the crumbs. Oh, someone's getting Tootie next door, tooting the car horn. Right, there we go, and we can pop that in there. So that's that one done. I do need to add in something here. Got this little tuck spot. So let's look. Got this wee fold out journaling spot that looks like an envelope. Would that work? No, it's too long and too tall, so that won't work. Good thought. Here's a little book page envelope. Would that work? That would work, and we could, no, it will only go one way, so go in that way. like that, and then it will still fold up. Okay, so let's work on that to go in that wee tuck spot. Super cute. I made this in the whole book challenge during October, so we just need to give it a bit of love and decorate it up. So I've got the images I cut out of a children's encyclopedia. It might be fun. It could be about the right size. I like this artist fellow. He's quite fun. He's got a paintbrush in his mouth and a paintbrush in his hand and a palette in the other hand. So I'm just going to loosely cut round him, leaving a white border. Sort of make him look like a sticker, I guess, or play on that cartoon aspect. And so I can get the little sort of movement lines in there as well. Otherwise I'd really have to cut them off, because they wouldn't make much sense if I was doing a true fussy cut right up to the edge of the image. So it won't take too long just to whip around this wee dude. Sorry, can't cut and talk. I'm actually busy just thinking, what can I tell you guys? What haven't I said? Or I should let you know too that the new lot of printables on my Patreon are now available for January. So if you're interested at all in becoming a patron, then there's head along to my Patreon account and you can check out that. If you're not, that's all cool too. The downloads are only available for my patrons though. But just to let you know, they're there, and I'll be doing the mail out for the Happy Mail tier around the 15th of the month. So if you were thinking about it and were interested in the Happy Mail, then you'd need to make sure to subscribe to my Patreon before the 15th so that I can get the printables out to you. Sorry, not the printables, the Happy Mail. Right, I think I'm just going to cut a piece of that. Why not? Just going to mark it with a pencil about where I want it. And I was thinking maybe I'd hand cut it, but no, I'm not going to be that brave or that silly, because I know I wouldn't get it straight. So craft knife comes out again. So it's my 3rd month of being on Patreon and just really loving it so far. Like, it's early days, but I am absolutely loving doing special things for my patrons. It's a lot of fun. Right, just wondering if I can cut out a couple of little divots to match where these lines are, where these triangles are. If I can cut those out and line it up, hopefully. We'll see how well it works. And then I'll need to put something inside the envelope too. Just a little bit of writing paper or something. Yeah, I think that works fine. So again, I'm going to just give it a little bit of ink. Sorry, hopefully I'm on camera there. I've tried something different with my tripod too. I was finding the camera's slightly too heavy for the holder. So I've tied it up with a ribbon and hopefully it's holding it in the right place. It means it's not as movable for me. I can't sort of tilt it quite as much, but it's not dropping either. Whereas that was getting really frustrating. I couldn't set it where I wanted to because it would just, the weight of the phone would pull it down. throw that on there carefully. And over a little bit, about there. Cute. Right, and I'm thinking just a bit of book page or something over top of the book page. Yep, just like that. So I'm gonna ink and ink and ink and a bit more ink. I'm just using a tacky glue just because it's easy to grab. I have got out a new glue stick, but some of these are heavier weights, these book page pieces. They're not thin paper, so the tacky glue is going to work fine without them getting all buckly and weird. Okay, so there, and then a bit of ink around our little artist dude. Hard to get into all the corners, but just dab it to get rid of some of that white in the background. Just tone it down a little bit. I'm not afraid of white at all, but just so that it blends in a bit better. Here we go, artist dude, you now have a home. Right, and I'm thinking of on the back, just looking for my bag of writing paper, scraps. A bit of writing space would perhaps be a good thing, so you could also write on the back of the envelope. We may as well utilise that space. So just a bit of butcher paper here. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the tripod with the bag. This paper I've found doesn't tear particularly well. It's okay one way, the other way it just goes all sorts of pear-shaped. So I'm just going to, and it's not very big, but it certainly could hold a little note on something, a date, anything really. Right, and I will use glue stick for this. Is this my empty one? Yes, that's my almost empty one. I've been digging it out with a palette knife, but I won't do that in this video because that's messy and time consuming. So we'll just use our new glue stick here. And I haven't inked around this because it's just a writing spot. There we go, it's on there. I'm going to give that an ink. Looks like it hasn't been inked on this side, so well, not well enough anyway for what I'm seeing. So just give that a bit more ink around the outside. Right, now something maybe in here. We want something down here. I think a label again would be good down here. And we could go with something a bit bigger. So let's try one of these hexagon ones again, because I think that could be quite fun. Because it doesn't matter if not all of it shows. It kind of picks up on the colours quite well actually. But let's see what else. Do we want a texty one? That's okay, but not totally feeling it. They're more botanical. So map. Again, these are from Artsology. I know I said it before, but just in case you missed that. Actually, I like this one. It's almost like it's the artist's signature sort of thing. Right, so we'll go with that one. And these labels I've printed on presentation paper, so they're slightly, not much, but slightly heavier than photocopy paper. So I'm going to use tacky glue on that as well. Make sure it's up the right way. I should have inked around it, but too late now. It won't matter, it has got the black border, so I think that's cute. Right, now do I want something here? I definitely don't want it plain. Do we want another bit of this paper? It could be quite cute. Do you want it going the same way? Probably. So let's line it up. Trying to see where it folds. I think there. And I'm going to mark around it with pencil and then cut inside the line I've made so that hopefully it fits and leaves a bit of a border around it on the inside of the flap. Right, so there's my line, if you can see that in the camera, and I'm going to cut a couple of millimeters inside that line. And that should hopefully give the desired result. Okay, and let's give it a test. Not too bad at all. And I don't think it's going to interfere with the folding. Might just snip it off a little bit on that bottom where this bit sticks up past the fold. Just checking, and a little bit off this way, just so it doesn't bind up or cause any issues on that point, because if it's going to rip, it's probably that point that will rip. Yep, that's sitting now clear of the that little point, so it's not going to cause any issues. Again with the ink, oh no, she's inking again. Yep, I certainly am. So I'm really keen to get some journals made this year, focusing on doing some projects. So hopefully that's all right with all you guys. It won't be just that though, of course. I'll still have my Trash Craft Tuesday videos. I'll still have my Deal It Up Challenge videos. And then there'll be other times when I just feel like doing something random. Oh, I think that's super cute. So we have decorated little envelope, little writing spot on the back, and now we just want to put in a little bit of writing paper. So let's see what I've got. It might be nice. Actually, I've got this bit of it's recycled paper, and it's thicker than photocopy paper. Thinking if we fold it in half and trim it down, and it can be a little fold out writing spot within the envelope. So it's not particularly straight by the look of it, so give it a bit of a trim. Do I need to? I do need to trim it, yes, to fit in the envelope. So I might as well check that first. And I better trim the side that's not actually straight rather than the side that is straight. It would be a bit silly, wouldn't it, to trim it on the side that's already straight and then have to go ahead and retrim because the other side isn't straight. Right, and it's a bit long, so I also need to trim it down to, let's go about there-ish. Have a couple of nice little scraps to stamp on from this. There we go, nice bits to stamp on. And so this just makes a nice little fold out journaling card, just plain. Not everything has to be decorated. You know, the person who has a journal would like to do some decorating themselves. So I'll tuck that in there. Pop my labels. Oops, I'm dropping things. Right, pick it up off the floor. Let's grab the journal back and find our page. Where is it? There it is. Open it up and tuck it in here. There we go, that's super cute. So we've got all this writing space here. We've got writing space on the journal card and behind. We've got writing space on the back of the envelope and writing space inside it. So like plenty of room to write notes, thoughts, draw pictures, whatever your journaling style is or wants to be. So that's that one done. Do a little check on time, half an hour. If you want to stick around, maybe we'll choose something small to work on now. I've kind of laid things out roughly how I want them and where I want them for this journal. Okay, so this page was intended to just be decorated with this collage border, but I've ended up with a glue mark right in the middle and it really bugs me. So I am going to go ahead and stick a pocket over top. Probably something like that, so you can still have some writing space and then there'll be the stuff in the pockets. And I was really annoyed because that was supposed to just be decorative in itself, writing spot. But however, you've got to work with what you've got, don't you? And I'm not happy with that, so I need to rectify it. This is a little gusseted pocket I made again in the whole book challenge, just making sure it's not glued down. It's all fine. It's a gusseted pocket and it's got a corner pocket on the front here and then a pocket in behind. So let's see what we want to do with this. I do have some painty papers that I also made during the whole book challenge. Some of these were ones I did on a video and some are ones that I did that other people had shown. There's some stamped ones. These are stamped ones. There's painted ones. This is watercolor. This is acrylic paint. This is cheap watercolor, more acrylic, and then some soluble wax pastels. I'm thinking that might be a good match for this page, or actually that's an even better match. I'm going to give you two choices and I'm going to hope to feel your vibes as to which one I should go for to cover this with. So this one, because I'm thinking it's bringing in some of that yellow, bit of the green, the pink and the blue, or this one. What vibes are you giving me? I'm getting half and half at the moment. I'm thinking this one actually might blend in too much. So there we go. Hopefully you are giving me this vibe because this is the one I'm going for. So first off, I want to trim up this rough edge. Now I still want a rough edge, just not this rough. It's a bit too in and out for my liking. It's going to interfere with how I use it, so I'm just going to tear that off. So I've still got a torn edge, and that's quite a fun strip actually. I'm sure I can use that somewhere else. And hopefully line this up on the right angle. We shall see. And then tearing this will be the hard. Actually, I need to tear it the other way so I can see. And then I'm tearing with my dominant hand as well, instead of being a bit cat-handed. Oh, it tore nicely. Yay. Oh, lovely. I think that looks cool. So even though this is quite thin Reader's Digest paper, it has got that layer of pastel on it. So I'm going to use my tacky glue because I think that pastel is actually giving it some body, the paper some body, and it should be okay with the tacky glue. Oh, I like that. That is very cool. Nice. Now, do I want the same paper in the back? Oh, okay, it talks about killing in the background there, so I definitely want to cover over the killing. It's just a novel, a story, but, you know, I want happy thoughts. Don't we want happy thoughts on our journal pages? There's enough bad going on in the world. We want journals to be our happy place, or the place where we get rid of those negative emotions. But our negative emotions, not somebody else's. Right. I think I'm going to go just with the same paper. And this would be so much easier to do before gluing. Oops, a little scrap, put that away. But as part of the whole book challenge, I glued it all together, so I knew how to make it, because it was something I hadn't made before. So now I've just got to work with decorating it how it is. And that's all good. It's not impossible, it's just a little more fiddly. Kind of need to go narrower to get down inside the pocket. So let's take an edge off. And it will give us another cool little strip for something. Decorating something. It actually tears really nicely with the pastel on. And take that off the bottom. Bit of toing and froing here as I play with getting it to fit where I want it. And then I feel like I want to take a little matching divot out the top, just to give it a sort of a similar aesthetic to the thumb hole. Just a slight little hole. And then it just sort of echoes that curve, and I think that's nice. Nice little detail. Oh, and it's got dye there. Boozy. Oh, why is there words on here that I don't want to see? Never mind. We'll work something out. And on the other side it talks about a luminous grave. I have no idea what this story is about. You know, you can't guarantee, even if a Reader's Digest, that it's got words on it that you don't want to see. Right, now the tricky part, sliding it in there with the glue on and getting it lined up right before it sticks down too well. Oh. And I didn't quite get it right, but it's good enough. It's where it landed and that's where it wants to be. Okay, so something down here. Have I got anything out of these pictures that... Maybe this one. Let's try it. Just to cover over those few words in the middle that I don't really want to be seeing. Not sort of message I want to be sending out on a journal that I've made. And it's the colours tie in as well, don't they? Bit of fireworks happening there. A lot happier fireworks. Not the event that they're commemorating, but fireworks are generally thought to be a happy thing, aren't they? And put that slightly, or do I want it right in the middle? It's like the reveal. Once you take the tag or journal card out of the pocket, then you've got this thing, this image hiding in the background. Might be quite nice if I put it right in the middle. The secret image to be revealed. I like doing that. I think it's fun having secret little things that get revealed when somebody explores. So I gave my mother-in-law a journal for her Christmas present, and she didn't look at it on the day, which I was a little disappointed with. Like, I was really keen to see her reaction as she looked through it, but of course with family there, she just wanted to concentrate on family, which is absolutely fine. But the next day she rang me up and said she'd had a look through the journal and she was amazed by how much work there was gone into it. And it's like, yep, that's what I do. I make journals, and it's really nice when you get that sort of feedback and appreciation. So that there, I'm thinking I'm on a label kick. A label down here. I do love labels. Labels are fun. What do we want on this one? I'm not sure if I've got anything that's going to match the colours particularly well. So let's have a look at a 9 of Crones one again. That's a bit of fun. It says daily at 6 AM and 4:30 PM. I've never heard it phrased that way before. 4:30 PM as opposed to 4:30 PM. That's an interesting way of putting it. It's kind of fun though. Kind of fun. Right, just looking for a little bit of book page or something. Here's some Japanese. I think it's Japanese. Might be Chinese. I don't know. Foreign language translated into English, so it's got the characters and the English translation, so maybe a bit of that might be fun. Yes, I like that. That looks cool. So I'm not sure if we'll get filling this pocket in the time. I'll do this, get this bit done, and then check the time and see how we're placed. My videos got very short at the end of last year, and it's not my preference. There's probably a good many of you that enjoyed them being shorter, but my preference is to be about the hour mark, sort of between 3/4 of an hour and an hour, and I want to get back to doing that. I'm not going to pressure myself they have to be that, but hang out there for a moment. I've got to glue this down first. Yeah, so that's my goal for this year, is to sort of do a better length video from my point of view. I know lots of people like shorter videos as well, and there will be some shorter videos, but yeah, my preference, as I said, is for that 3/4 of an hour to an hour mark. I just feel like you can really get into something decent then and do something worthwhile in that time frame. Excuse me, I just need a wee sip of my coffee. Oh, as it happens, a big gulp. I'd sucked in a lot of coffee and I realised that's not a sip. Right, how are we going for time? We are at 45 minutes, so we're right in that target of where I wanted to be. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. So I'm just going to glue along the gussets. And get it down on the page, and then I'm kind of tempted to make things to go in the pockets. What do you reckon? Do you want to hang around for another 15 or so minutes, maybe 10 minutes, depends how quickly I can pull them together, and then I can call this one complete. Shall we go for it? I think we'll go for it, shall we? I mean, it doesn't mean you have to stick around. If you need to go, then you go. But I'm thinking, I'm here, I'm in the zone, and I'd really like to just get this one done. So let's get a cracking. And I've got this fold out one. Do we want to use that? Yep, let's use that one in the back, so it's already half done. So let's decorate up the front. And what do I want? I don't want more of the same paper. Let's have a look at what scrapbook paper we might like. So there's blues going on the page. There's a little bit of pink. Remembering our theme, Playful Days. Could go pink. Not feeling green on this. Orange, no, not feeling orange. Yellow, possibly purple. There is purple in the pocket. Oh, make a decision, girl. I haven't got time to muck around. Let's go yellow. Just because. Right. So, do we want to do any other writing space? I'm thinking I want to do this as writing space. So let's do that first, so I don't forget. Oh, come out of there. Oh, and everything comes out. That's typical, isn't it? Just trying to grab this bit of paper out of my bag, and it just pulled up lots of other bits. Going to do, I can see my piece underneath, so I'm just lining it up. Yeah, and just going to roughly tear off the top, and then I'll tidy it up, just so I'm not grappling with this bit of paper. And this is packaging paper that I found in the recycling bin at my husband's work, and it's just the most wonderful paper. I love using it, and I'll be sad when I run out of it. There wasn't a huge amount. Yeah, so I'm going to be sad when I've run out, because I have never seen this at his work before. So I'm going to go this way. But it's really fun. It's slightly, not overly, but slightly shiny on one side and matte on the other. And it's just, the colour is cool. I just love the colour. It's fun. It's not boring. It's not, I mean, it's a plain colour, but it's not usual, is what I'm trying to say. It's just a little bit more interesting than straight brown paper, though I do love brown paper as well. There we go. And did I round the corners? No, I didn't. I left them square, so I'll just leave these square as well. And back to the glue stick for this. Sorry, I'm concentrating on getting it done, so I just went a wee bit quiet. You're probably thinking, hooray, she shut up for 2 seconds. I know you're not really saying that. I know some people do music to their videos. I have no idea how to even go about doing that, so I don't think that's something I'll ever do. I don't like ones that are all music. I like to hear the person talking. I like to feel like I'm connecting with them. So that's what I'm going to bring you. Right, so let's do this now. I'm going to make it a bit bigger because I want torn edges, so I need to tear off those straight edges as well. Oh gosh, come on, tear paper, here we go. Tear off the bottom just to give it a torn. No, it's only slightly rougher than the regular straight edge, but it's just enough to give it that little interest, and particularly when you ink it, it gives the ink something to grab to. I find a bit better than just your ordinary straight cut edge. Right, so that one, and I think I'll do the top first before I do the side, so I'm not narrowing down this paper unnecessarily, the scrap that I'm going to tear off. Okay, and just trying to see to line it up. I think about there is good. And I think I will round the corners on this bit and hope that my corner rounder behaves itself. It needs to be sharpened. It's not been cutting very well on the corners. It's been leaving little chinks hanging off, which has been very frustrating. That I've then had to go back and cut with scissors, which kind of a bit pointless. It's like you have a corner rounder so it does the job for you. It's a little bit rough there, never mind. We'll just ink it up and it will look cool. Oops, I need a bit more ink on my sponge. That's better. Got a bit dry. I have used it a little bit today though, and hadn't inked it at all today, so not surprising. It needed a little refresh. Crumbs. Right, so this will go this way, so I better put the flower up the right way. There's lots of activity happening at the neighbours today. Cars coming and going and voices. It's always funny when people are on holiday and you hear a lot more noises during the day than normal, particularly with their kid being home and that during school holidays. It's just like noises I'm not used to, so I'm more conscious of them. You know, if they happened every day all day, then I just wouldn't even notice because it's just normal. But because it's not normal, I notice everything going on. Right, so there we go. So we just have our little flap here. Do I want the same? I think it would look quite nice the same, wouldn't it? Give it a little bit of cohesion. Oh, it sounds like they've got visitors. Believe me, I'm not a nosy neighbour, but it's just, I can't turn my ears off. Like, it's just, I hear it. And I hear voices that I don't normally hear. Right, again with corn around it. It actually didn't behave too badly, I guess, because the scrapbook paper is a bit thicker than some of the papers I try and cut. Like photocopy paper, it tends to just, you know, do half the job. But this seems to be working okay. But yes, I do need to sharpen it. I need to get some sandpaper out, some light sandpaper, and just do a few cuts. Or tinfoil, I think, is the other one people use. Have you sharpened any craft punches? What do you use to sharpen yours, if you do? A lot of these punches are ones that came to me secondhand, so, you know, they're possibly never been sharpened in their lives. I mean, I don't know. I know the ones from my mum haven't been. Right, get there. And then let's decorate this, embellish it up, and then that will be today's video. Who knows how long it will take to upload. Videos have been taking an age over the holidays. I guess more people are at home on their devices, streaming movies and stuff. So things have been uploading really slowly. So you might be seeing it this afternoon, you might be seeing it this evening. I don't know. Right. Do we want another little cutesy image? No, not that one. Okay. Parachuting. No. I'm actually thinking something more, I guess, normal. And a flower. I haven't put a lot of flowers in here, but flowers absolutely fit in the Playful Days theme, don't you think? Want that, or do we want something? These flowers again are from Artsology, and these ones, this one I've got in my hands is one that didn't print properly because my cyan had clogged on my printer, so it's not a true representation, but it's still pretty, so I refuse to just ditch them. They are perfectly usable. Okay, I like that one. Let's go with that one, and I want a bit of book page or music to go behind. I want this middle section, I think. I want it not quite so crazily torn. I was very not careful when I was tearing that. Something like that. Yep, I like that. And I'm not going to ink around the music. Oh, my stomach's making all sorts of gurgles. Can't be hungry, we're not that close to lunchtime. Right, give this a little bit of ink though. Just catching the peaks because it's very hard to get into all the crevices on these fussy cuts. So I've got 2 sets of these flowers printed out, one where the cyan wasn't working and one that's normal. And then I've got another set of them printed out at half the size. And I must say, I don't use the half size ones very often. But at least I've got them if I do have a need for a smaller one. I think it will just take me longer to get through them. And plus I haven't fussy cut them out, they're still all in the sheet. So that's probably part of the reason that I don't use them, because they're not ready to go. Pop you down there, and I like the fact that it's half hidden by the flap. It kind of invites the person to open it up. Like so, and then I'm thinking a word. Can we find a word to go up the top? Oops, open it the right way. These are my vertical words, and then I've got some other words here as well. Just looking for something that might fit. Chase the rainbows. It's a little bit small. Experience life in full. Maybe a bit big. It's hard to find the perfect one, isn't it? Breathe in, breathe out to repeat. Chase the rainbows. Sorry guys, I'm just tell your story. Oh, I like that. Tell your story. Perfect. It just takes a little moment to find the right thing. And then this one will be done. You can pop it in the pocket. And the next video I'll work on one of the other spots that needs to be filled. So there'll be a lot of ephemera making and decorating. Oops. Right, I've got a complete and utter mess everywhere. I still haven't done that back, this front pocket. We've now gone over and out, so we won't be doing that in this video. So there, we've done that one anyway, so just need to find something to go in there. I might even have something pre-made. So thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you didn't mind the length of the video, and maybe you even crafted along with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.